Hi there, Natalie with you today with a new idea to create a clean and simple memory keeping layout featuring the new Mini Delight Tea Rose Blossom. So come join me. Hi there, and welcome to a new episode of Inspired by a Card with Natalie. Today we're going to be working on a clean and simple memory keeping layout featuring the new Mini Delight Tea Rose Blossom. And this is a beautiful set, and you're going to see how we're going to use it. The inspiration for today's project comes from this card from Aditi Mahajan, and she created this card for our blog a couple months ago. So I'm going to start actually by using my stamp wheel to create all my blossoms. That means that I'm going to mass produce quite a few flowers, even though I'm not going to end up using that many. And I want tones of purple and coral for this layout. I wanted something that was kind of on the classic look for this. So, like I said, I'm using tones of purple. I am using some of the newest ink. That's pale mauve, amethyst, and grape agate. And that's for the purple tones. Those are from the Sugarplum fresh dye inks. And then for my coral flowers, which are a little bit different, I'm using 3 different colors. I'm using frosty pink. Then I'm going to use blush, and I'm going to end up with dusty pink. And those are all fresh inks, and that's what I'm going to use to create kind of it gives me like kind of this peachy, corally pink flower, which complements the purple beautifully. So you're going to see that I'm just taking my time. Like I said, I'm using my stamp wheel. It's my way of mass producing flowers. So once I'm finished, I'm going to go ahead, use the die that comes in this set to just cut all my flowers apart, and at the same time I'm gonna go ahead and start die cutting some of my leaves. So you're gonna see that I'm gonna use some green cardstock to create my leaves, but I want to give them a little bit of character. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to rub the tips of the leaves, not all of them, just a few of them, onto cloud white pigment ink, and I'm just gonna lighten up the tips, make them, I don't know, give them a little bit of interest. And then I thought that I needed to add a little bit of like a darker touch to the center of the leaves. So I'm gonna use a red Jasper. This is one of the crisp inks, and you're gonna see that I'm using my mini ink blending brush just to add some color. I'm gonna say at the bottom of the leaves, the part that are closest to the branches, and I'm gonna move the design a little bit. You're gonna see that some of the leaves I actually chose to add the red Jasper to the tips of the leaves. I just wanted to create a little bit of difference. So I'm going to set my leaves on the side to dry, and I'm going to start working on what is going to help me actually kind of anchor my layout. And for this, I am using the picture frame die, and I'm going to cut 4 white frames, and I'm going to cut 3 frames out of brush gold metallic cardstock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the brush metallic cardstock onto one of the white frames. I just want to give him a little bit of sturdiness, give a tiny little bit of dimension. So I'm going to do that with all the 3 gold frames. Now, one of the gold frames is going to be backed with vellum. The other gold frame is going to be back with one of the pictures that I'm going to use, and the other one I'm actually going to use the white negative part that came inside of the frame to help me build my layout. So you're going to see that I'm just taking my time. I'm going to make sure that everything is glued in place, and I've just had this idea for a while of creating a clean, like, it's just clean. It's going to be kind of heavy on one side, but I'm going to balance it with like a lot of negative space on the left hand side. So you're going to see, like I said, one of the frames is going to be backed with one of the pictures. The other one is going to go straight onto my page, and I'm going to use the negative piece that was left over from the white frame to actually create the inside of the frame. And another one of the frames, it got backed with vellum. I did that outside of the camera. So now that I have my frames, I put my first frame in place on the top left corner of the layout. I'm actually going to superimpose the other one a little bit at the bottom. The picture that's going to go at the top, I actually rounded the corners because I want to create a little bit of difference. And I'm going to use that space between the frame and the picture to actually tuck in my flowers. And I'm going to use one purple and one of the peachy tone. I'm going to bring some of the leaves. You're going to see that little bit of color that I added to the leaves just adds a little bit of character here. And I'm going to help myself because I also cut some of the little green leaves that come in the picture frame die just to help me create my cluster. Now once I set the two flowers on the left of the pictures, I'm just going to add one of the purpley toned tea rose blossom to the right of the photo. I don't want to overcrowd. I know that I'm going to put my picture there and I'm going to add something extra on the right. Now my right side of the spread is ready. I'm going to set it to the side and I'm going to work on the left hand side. So this is the frame that was backed with vellum. I want to create a pocket, and the reason for creating a pocket is that I want to hide my lens or journal inside, so I keep the clean look of my layout. So you're going to see that I just added tape to the U part of the frame. That means that I'm able to slide the card in and out. I set it right on the center of my layout, and then I slide my little tag in, and I'm going to repeat the cluster. One peach flower, one purple flower, and I'm adding all those leaves just to help me bulk up the cluster. Once I have that in place, my layout is pretty much done. I need to work on a title. For this, I am actually going to use the Timeless Sentiment die set, and I'm going to use actually glitter cardstock. I'm using one of the newest ones. It's called Peach, and then the one I'm going to use is Gilded. I'm going to go for the gold look. I wasn't too sure which color I wanted to use, so I die cut the word love out of those two glitter cardstocks, and I cut the offset or the shadow of it out of vellum just because I want to make sure that it stays translucent. So my idea, like I played with some of the positioning, and I decided to kind of glue the peach gradient cardstock, the peach glitter cardstock, on top of the gold one, leaving a little bit of an offset, so kind of the gold becomes the shadow behind the peach cardstock. And then I'm gonna glue it onto the shadow that was cut out of vellum. And then it was all about placing where I'm going to place it. So I decided to put it on the picture, but it became too busy on the right hand side of the page. So I'm going to move it to the top of, like, the inside of the frame where my lines of journal are going to be in the tag. And I thought it was the perfect place for, like, well, it's going to become my title. It's going to be very simple. I'm going to keep this very, very simple. So I'm going to glue it right on the center, and I think that's all that it needs. Now for the right hand side of my layout, I just added a few extra stickers, some hearts, some phrase stickers that I have on my stash, and I wanted to bring a little bit more interest, a little bit of texture, so I am adding clear enamel dots from my stash just because I want, like I said, think about clean and simple, not adding anything else to this. So I thought that was the final touch. Now remember how I mentioned before I was going to add something to the right of my layout? I just think that I need to stretch a little bit more of my layout just to give it extra space to breathe, and also to bring some of the purple. There's a lot of peach on the background. So I cut a strip of like this kind of movie pattern paper, and I just added to the right of my layout, and just to stretch it, I add a little bit a tiny little leaf from the picture frame die set, and that's about it. Love this journal. I love the look, I love the colors, and I love how easy it came together. As always, if you have any questions, you can contact me. You can check all the details of this on the blog, and as always, guys, don't subscribe to the channel to check for more beautiful content. See you soon.
Hey there, Lydia here. I really do hope that you've just enjoyed the video. If so, please subscribe to the Altenew YouTube channel. Also, turn on the notification bell so you can get your daily dose of crafty techniques and tutorials just like this. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.